Shalom and greetings to you all. Now, I hope that you all had a fantastic Memorial Day weekend, day which honors the more than 650,000 American soldiers who've made the ultimate sacrifice. And you may notice it's a very similar number to what we'll read about this week when we enter a new book, the fourth of the 5 books of Moses, the 5 books that make up the Torah, which is one part of the Old Testament, one of 3 parts. And we do this just 1 week before we break for the festival of Shavuot, which means 7. We are 7 weeks from Passover. Now, the holiday Shavuot, one of the gathering festivals, the one that celebrates the first fruits harvest, begins at sundown on Thursday, May 28th, and concludes at nightfall on Saturday, May 30th this year. Now, the highlight is the celebration of the receiving of the 10 Commandments, which are read on May the 29th. And as happens on all gathering festivals, Yizkor, the public mourning, is held on May 30th. Now again, for those who feel it's difficult observing Jewish holidays, it's not a complex holiday. It's a fascinating holiday. A prayer is said, the first real prayer in the Bible as we bring our offering of the first fruits to the priests. We recite the 10 Commandments, something which was once done daily. And it's not such a bad thing to do daily again. It's always prefaced with, I am the Lord your God who brought you out from the land of Egypt from a house of slaves. It's the reminder, not that this is the God who created the universe, even though it is, but it's the God who brought you out from the land of constraint, from the house of slaves, which we choose to live in. You shall not have other gods before my face. You shall not make a statue or any form that's in the skies above or that's in the earth below or that's in the water below the earth. You shall not bring up the name of the Lord your God for a falsehood. Remember the Sabbath day to make it holy. Honor your father and your mother. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not testify against your neighbor as a lying witness. You shall not covet. Now, these aren't so difficult, and they're actually fairly easy to live by. Now, we observe Yizkor, that public mourning. Once it was only done on Yom Kippur, but then it was added for the 3 gathering festivals. And I will be lighting candles and doing prayers for the lost but not forgotten souls. And if you want it done for someone you love, send me an email, give me a call, and their names will be added to the list. Now, as we gather for the festival, it reminds us that we gather every week when we come together as a like-minded group in the collective consciousness of seekers showing faith and love, a community, a chavura, fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing, bringing light, keeping fear at bay, helping each other. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, to gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim, Ya. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim, Ya. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. Now we are all brothers and sisters together, my friends, so let's spread love, goodwill, fellowship to the world. Remember, this is your setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your sacred space to honor, converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It is your goodwill. Let's take some time now to send some of that goodwill, some light and some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. The world needs it. Healing and renewal for everybody. It floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. Think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people, my friends. It is for our pets, for the earth. It is the healing of the world. The tikkun olam that is part of our spiritual genetic makeup. So let's send thoughts and energy for health and renewal for everybody in need, for those in our hearts and our minds, for Martha, for Bob and Dan, for Terry, for Tally, for Alex, for Dora, for the bee. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, the goodwill and love we all send out. It circles the world finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world's a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Avotenu Makor HaBracha Libotenu, may the source of strength bless the ones before us, help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Mishaberach, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, my friends, which we call upon God to heal as he has healed before. Mishaberach, may he who blessed, because all healing's a blessing. Let's send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now this week we begin bamidbar, in the wilderness, the book of Numbers. Numbers 1:1. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the tent of meeting on the first day, the second month, in the second year of their exodus from the land of Egypt, saying. Well, it's all laid out for us. When it took place, what the Lord's about to say to Moses in the book of Numbers. Now, the book of Numbers is the story of a journey. Against the backdrop of the book of Leviticus, which we just read with its absence of movement, Numbers is entirely about movement. There is no standing still. The journey, as a literary theme, has been a recurring component of world literature from the Epic of Gilgamesh, the oldest known book, the Odyssey, to Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and one of the great journey books of our time, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. There is an entire nation in movement in this book with a visible miracle, the column of cloud and fire, and miraculous feeding, manna, happening in their presence at all times over a span of 40 years. It is the only age in the Bible in which miracle is a daily fact of life. Right? Some people will be born and live through a period where they only know miracles on a daily basis, whereas most of the rest of us don't recognize all the miracles in our lives. And while there's a destination anticipated, in a future in which some of them will participate and some will not, and we know that, no one really knows where the destination is. And several times before, we saw that with God, where he points to where he wants you to go. You have to have faith, because he will take you where he wants you to be, where you need to be. He did it with Abraham. He did it over and over again. Their mentality is a mentality of slaves. And so they don't know how to think like free people. And there are various groups and individuals among them with an interest in positions of leadership. And we're going to see rebellion take place. The story is about the people and God and the relationship between them, but it is focused more than ever on one man, Moses, his personality, and especially his conflicts. There is constant movement as the people move further from slavery and closer to freedom. And it's a real journey. It's not a virtual journey. These days we're living everything virtually. Our lives need to be real. Our movement needs to be real. There is room for virtual in order to enhance, but not to replace. This is the story of experience. Now, the wilderness depiction conveys two quite different qualities. On the one hand, the wilderness years constitute a kind of ideal. The people's life is orderly, it's protected, it's close to God. It's a period of incubation, of nurturing, of development. Everything is provided: food, water, direction. The miraculous is the norm. At the same time, the wilderness is depicted as terrible. Conditions are bad. The environment is hostile. There's rebellion from within and fighting with peoples whom they encounter on the way. There are power struggles and fear. It is about the wilderness. But it is called Numbers because it opens with a census, and it actually closes with one as well. It opens with the first census of Israel, an order of the encampment and marching. It's really quite an astounding, section to read. We're told the members of each tribe, almost by family, and there are approximately 650,000 in the first census, and there will be a similar number in the second. But the count is men only, not everyone. And those who say that the moral of this story is that everybody counts, well, everybody does count. But it has been a struggle for the counting of women, children, the disenfranchised, and the numbers given in the Bible are the numbers of men. Now, the building of the tribes, the coming together of the people, the forming of the marching order is fantastic to read about. It's all with this huge pomp and circumstance as the book tells of the people as they all come together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I have a little more? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I love you. A, B, C, D. Can I bring my friend to T? E, F, G, H, I, J. I love you. All together now. 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 It's about putting everybody together. The putting together the rules is quite detailed. But all these people will die. So what's the point? The entire wilderness generation dies, and the book will end with another census as the people sit camped on the Jordan River. And that census determines everything. That census determines land holdings, its impact on ownership, on inheritance, on freedom, and on the Jubilee. You will see the writer's enthusiasm for pageantry is manifested in this great initial roll call of the tribes and in the elaborately repetitive rehearsal of the gifts for the 12 chieftains. In between these were given laws intended to protect cultic purity, with considerable attention devoted to the trial by ordeal of the wife suspected of adultery and to the Nazarite's vow of abstinence. And those two stories are really incredible. And then the dedication of the Levites and the ritual of the Passover. But it must be said that this text associates movement with trouble. After the initial procession of the teeming tribes, each arrayed in incredible fashion around its own banner, we get repeated representations of a motley crew of malcontents. The Hebrew derogatory asufsuf, riffraff, is aptly invoked to characterize them. A mob churning with complaints and frustrated desires, restless under Moses' leadership, fed up with the hardships of life in the wilderness, nostalgic for the material comforts of life in Egypt. And the centerpiece of this journey, Balaam's oracles, a series of prophecies about Israel's future that is pronounced unlike any other biblical poetry by a non-Israelite soothsayer. It follows the story of Balaam and his donkey, his she-ass, tracing a cunning network of analogies to it. The story has often been characterized as a folktale. There are no other instances of talking animals in the historical narratives of the Bible. The only other one is the serpent in the garden story, and that belongs to the primeval, the more mythological face of biblical literature. This is the only historical part with the talking animal. Now, according to prevalent preconceptions, there's no humor in the Bible. And so this talking donkey was told that it was preordained at the time of creation, because we needed an answer for it. But it should be noted that the story is actually quite funny, so humor does exist. The humor serves the purposes of a monotheistic satire of pagan notions. The professional seer with independent powers to curse or bless, Balaam, the celebrated visionary, cannot see the sword-wielding divine messenger who's plainly visible to his ass, and he is reduced to stuttering frustration, finally engaging in an angry argument with his beast of burden. Balaam then plays the role of the ass, whose eyes and mouth are opened by God vis-a-vis the thrice frustrated and understandably fuming Moabite King Balak. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred, and so is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed, and be prepared for this journey. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, an end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we're a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do. Learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself, maybe mostly yourself. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them and take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now, bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, with accountability and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you, as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness and compassion and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It is your home. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill, and do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering act of purity. Just as I have faith in the principle of love in all of you, right? Despise none, defraud none, hate none, cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go, and work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind. Because the source of real power, the deepest power you can have, lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all life circumstances. So make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform lives around you, because you're never alone. You're forever blessed, and you have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform. To love, to bless, so be generous. Bless others. Bless yourself. Love with the heart, because we're all part of the greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger, and be there for someone, because someone's always there for you whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together, we learn together, we help each other. We are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them and tell them what they mean. And remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Watch your words. They hurt you, they heal you, they imprison you, and they can free you. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and ask forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. And listen to the voice of God as he, she, it, whatever, talks to you. Talks to you now. Talked to you long ago on the mountain, reminding you of the rules of life. Simple rules that cannot be denied. And remember, my friends, you are on a journey. Live it, experience it, and friends, enjoy the journey. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Sing the song to bring the sun and weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. So thank you for joining me, my friends. Experience the reality of life. Share it, learn from it, and don't forget to light a candle. Elevate the souls of those who are gone while also elevating your own. Make an offering of thanks. Recite the 10 Commandments. And I will see you all soon. Shabbat Shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.